Give my Green Lantern back. God, woman.
You know that's not really Green Lantern,
This,
right?
good sir, is the Green Lantern.
Which one?
No, this is Green Lantern. This is a green one.
Which one?
The green one.
What do you mean, which one?
There's several Green Lanterns.
The one
hundreds of
that's
Green
the
Lanterns.
obvious
Come
one.
on.
That's this color. This is Green Lantern. Now let me explain to you. He has will. Because every time that Mario wants to freaking sacrifice him, the will to sacrifice his body so that Mario can go on to the next level. There's multiple colored Yoshis. You got the yellow and the blue, so he has to fight yellow Yoshi.
What do the colors mean?
They mean the things that the colors mean,
Yeah.
right?
What do they mean?
Fear means hate.
Green means
Green
grass.
means gas. Wait, did you say
No,
gas?
grass.
Grass?
Yeah.
Grass. Blue, water, fire. Yeah.
He's a grass Pokemon now?
No, he's a grass.
He's always
lantern.
been a grass Pokemon.
He's Grass Lantern.
How can Yoshi's not a Pokemon?
Yeah.
No, the movie was Ass Lantern.
Ass Lantern. I'm a Green
Look,
Lantern.
he's flying like one.
Yeah, you see? My points are all valid.
And now he's falling like a box office.
Yeah.
Lazy Yoshi.
Well, welcome for another rendition of That's Alt. I'm Mike Roninphan. Today with me is Fernando, Master Chief.
Hello.
Or Master Chef, I'm
Master
sorry.
Chef.
Master Chef. Sacha, Timeless Traveler.
Hello.
And our returning friend from Metal Geek, Cary.
Greetings. Hello.
Today's episode, we will be discussing the Marvel film and the DC film franchise. Why is Marvel doing so much better, and why is DC doing so much better in the animated versions? These are questions we want answered or speculations to. I guess first, I'll lend it to you, Cary. Which side are you on, Marvel or DC?
As a guy that has a Deadpool tattoo on my leg, I'd probably be for Marvel. I think, first of all, they've done it correctly. They set everything up correctly. And DC sort of floundered with their movies for so many years.
What about you, Sacha? What side do you fall on?
I'm a DC fangirl.
Yeah.
That's why you were staring at me badly, like mad.
That's why you accept that this is Green Lantern, right? It doesn't hurt you on the inside. You're not dying a little bit on the inside.
I'm dying on the inside.
No, you're always
I'm
dying.
a little ashamed of you, but whatever.
Well,
But, okay, what about you, Fernando?
I'm kind of neutral, but I lean more towards Marvel.
I think you lead to Nintendo.
I lean to Marvel.
But why Marvel?
We're talking about the movies, right?
Yeah.
To me, the success of the Marvel movies, in my opinion, is I think it's a matter of trial and error, where Marvel has doubled in terms of releases since 1999 in terms of its franchises. It uses all of its characters and has released them and just kind of like thrown them and seen what's happened. I think success has just been a coincidence that whenever they do hit and land on a good one, they're able to keep going through with it, like the Spider-Man trilogy, the X-Men, and the Marvel Phase 1. And it's not so much that maybe the stories are timeless or good, because, as you know, we've discussed, X-Men hasn't aged really well in our opinion, but it's the fact that when they land on it, they're able to achieve success, and they follow through with it.
Right.
For me, it's like I'm more of a DC fan, but I will have to admit the Marvel franchises has done much better in the film industry. It's probably because you're right. They had pre-planning. They set it up. Avengers. I mean, who knew Iron Man was going to be successful? But they set it up to be a continuation of the Marvel universe.
Because when the Iron Man first movie came out, he wasn't really a well-known character in the general public.
Right.
Comic fans knew him, but everything worked together. The acting, getting Robert Downey Jr., getting the directing, everything just worked for them. And Marvel was able to really pull it out of their butt and come back.
I mean, perfect casting for the biggest thing is Robert Downey Jr. And I mean, DC, they do have the most iconic characters, though. Yeah, Superman and Batman, but why aren't those doing as well? Or actually, they're doing well now. But in the beginning, you know, Batman and Robin kind of killed the comic book franchise movie for a while.
Pretend that one doesn't exist.
A lot of us
We have to
pretend that
pretend it
doesn't
exists so we don't do that failure in the future. If we
Everybody
deny,
chill out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. It is a history lesson.
It's a history lesson. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't use bat nipples. I think it's unfair that Batgirl didn't have bat nipples and the Batman did.
That is sexist, isn't it?
That is sexist.
I concur.
But so when we're talking about Marvel franchises, I mean, are we also including the non-Disney owned one or Paramount owned ones? Fantastic Four.
There were some duds in the bunch.
Some?
Okay, a lot.
Okay.
The Fantastic Four, the first movie wasn't horrible. It wasn't great though.
I disagree, but go on.
Okay. So what do you think of like the Sony stuff, like the Spider-Man movies?
The Sony stuff I like. Okay, the one directed by Sam Raimi, I never loved 100%. I enjoyed the first Spider-Man, and that was it.
I like the second one actually a little more than the first one, but by the third one, I just
So, well, my issues with
got
the
mad.
second Spider-Man was that the main villain is Doc Ock, and that barely played to a huge part of the film if you think about it. Yeah, I know it motivates Peter Parker as a somewhat of a character about his responsibilities of creating, a villain out of someone. But at the same time, he barely had any screen presence for me. But that's just my opinion.
Well, I feel that's because they made a choice. I feel like with that franchise early on, they weren't going to focus so much on the story plots, like the villains and stuff. They're going to focus more on the character evolution of Spider-Man. So they had to pick and choose which one they were going to stick with and do that, because I feel like that's what happened with Spider-Man 3. They made too many. They were indecisive about what they wanted to do. Focus on villains. Focus on the character. Focus.
I don't think it was indecisive on their hands of Sam Raimi. He was horseshoed into putting Venom in.
Yeah, that one I know, because he likes the classic villains.
Yeah, right.
Venom's new generation.
Well, in those Spider-Man movies, they did focus on your villain's descent, and it was cool to see the character progression, see how they changed. I feel like those movies were more focused on his villain's character journey than they were him.
I can see where you get that. I disagree.
I sort of disagree.
Because he suddenly gets powers, and it's sort of like how in Thor, he suddenly becomes friends with everybody that's been so angry with him for the beginning of the movie.
And out of nowhere, Sandman killed his uncle.
Yeah.
So we have that
Yeah,
issue.
it has to work together though.
The thing is, to be honest, on a whole spectrum, if you look at it, I fear any Marvel film that is being produced by Fox. I have not liked one Marvel movie produced by Fox. That's being X-Men 1, 2, and 3, The Last Stand, Fantastic Four 1 and 2. What else we got? Daredevil, and then the first Daredevil, Elektra, Ghost Rider.
You do make a good point.
There's anything that goes to Fox, I'm like freaking out.
But I am looking forward to Days of Future Past. I hope they do it correct.
That's the thing. That the only Fox Marvel movie I've liked is actually First Class.
Yep.
It didn't follow canon. I know that pissed off a lot of people, especially Mike Rudd. But to me, it had a good story plot elements, and then it also had fantastic acting by Michael Fassbender and who else was there?
All them people.
All the people. Oh, Kevin Bacon. Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon was good.
So that was great, and now they're going to do Days of Future Past, and Bryan Singer's returning. I don't like Bryan Singer. I'm sorry. I thought he did a horrible.
Funniest facial reaction.
That was me mid gag. But that's me. I don't like Bryan Singer's directing. I don't like his storytelling.
But the story that he's using, Days of Future Past, is such a great story. I hope he can't mess it up.
No.
Oh, he can mess it up.
Oh, he can mess it up.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
You can start by casting him. I know.
Yeah,
I'm using this as a reference. I have to keep doing that.
I guarantee you as much he might mess it up. But switching to the other side, to DC. I mean, DC has now at least one successful franchise, which is Batman.
Yep.
And they kind of semi-retired. I swear to God, if the new Batman. But what do you guys think? Why is now DC playing catch-up?
The different universes, Marvel versus DC, they have such an odd approach from varying angles. Like, Marvel uses a more centralized universe where everything is revolved around Earth and people on Earth. Yeah, they'll have Thor show up, but it's mostly self-contained.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas DC is so much more expansive. You have so many of their key characters are from other planets and other galaxies. It's just hard to integrate those. Like,
well, I think both have very.
I was going to say, I think Marvel has a lot of.
Marvel's gone wacky with the Phoenix Saga. As soon as that thing hit, my mind was blown. I don't know what the hell was going on.
But DC has always been more mythological.
They practically are the new Greek gods. I mean, if you think about it.
They lean more to an epic storyline, whereas it's more action-oriented sci-fi with Marvel. So it's harder to produce an epic.
Well, I think it's also preparation. I mean, you remember back in, I think when I say 2007, they tried to do a Justice League movie before releasing individual character movies. And I think it was produced by Joel Silver, or it was about to be made. And I was like freaking out because they cast entirely wrong.
See, the problem with making a Justice League movie now, which they tried recently, is not everybody knows every character. Sure, everybody knows Batman and Superman, but
And Wonder Woman. There's
And, yeah.
the
They're
three
like the
Trinity.
But-
Super Trinity.
Marvel did it the right way by introducing each character with their own intro movie. This is their backstory. This is how they became this character. And if
And they
try
got the right director too.
yeah, they got the
Joss
right
Whedon.
director. Joss Whedon knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
And if they try to do that with the Justice League movie now, they're going to spend like the first hour and a half just giving everybody's origin stories, and
That's
people
the
don't want to
thing.
see that again.
I remember I read online that there was I don't want to say leaked or released version of the first draft of the script.
I heard it was horrible.
It was horrible. I was reading it. I was freaking. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, so this is what happens. So apparently, Martian Manhunter was held captive at the Apocalypse of Darkseid, and he escaped to Earth to warn everyone of that Apocalypse was coming. Darkseid was coming, and Darkseid then releases advanced forces to go down to battle the advanced forces of Earth. The Justice League.
So the
which is
Avengers
forming.
movie.
Basically, and this is the thing, he sends Calibac and Orion. If you don't know, Orion's the son of Darkseid, who's against him. So they're already messing with the origin. And then once Superman and Justice League hand in their asses, he sends in Doomsday. I was like, you're blowing your entire wad in one movie. Like the
Yeah,
biggest heavy hitters of the universe has been
Right.
thrown in the first film.
And that's a
I don't know what they were
problem.
thinking.
That's a problem with each of the heroes, though, is that they're so powerful. Each one is so powerful. It's like you're wasting your
I
energy
think
having so many.
That's why
heroes
Marvel
in one.
works much better in the movies, because in the Marvel universe, all the heroes look at their powers as a curse. So there's always something that they hate or struggle when they're trying to deal with the fact that they're supernatural. I feel like with the Justice League, they're so perfect. They're gods. You can't relate with them. And the thing with the Marvel
Yeah.
movies recently, they're all character based. So every character has inner drama. Like Thor, he's a god, but he has like problems with Loki
Nelly.
and his dad. And he's
And
always
he loves a human girl now.
yeah. Now he loves a human girl, and this kind of stuff is going on.
Less than a day, by the way.
So
Right.
the storytelling is subpar, but it's enough that you're interested in the characters and their adventures that they work as entertaining films.
Yeah.
And because you kind of relate to the characters, like, Iron Man has alcoholic problems. Hey, I sort of have alcoholic problems, and Hulk
You have
is dealing.
alcoholic problems?
No, shut up. And Hulk, whatchamacallit, he doesn't want to be something. These are things that people like. They're kind of relatable characters. I don't see somebody relating to Aquaman where like, I have issues. You're the king of the underwater. If the land destroys, you have more water for yourself.
Well,
so.
actually, Aquaman would probably be a poor example of that because he has more of a tortured backstory.
Nobody
supposed to
likes
agree with
nobody likes Aquaman in the DC universe
Nobody
either.
likes
Yeah.
Aquaman,
Yeah, but
but,
you still-
he does have a more.
Well, would you put him in the Justice League movie?
No.
So you're taking him out? No, okay, fine.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'd give him in the Justice League movie.
Sharks.
Some CGI sharks coming.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the
But yeah,
useless. They
you're
say.
right. Definitely, the Marvel characters are definitely more relatable. They all have problems that everybody in their day-to-day life has. In DC, it's like, okay, Bruce Wayne, he's a millionaire,
'Cause,
and
like, right now-
billionaire.
Well, I could make arguments for both sides. That's the thing. To be honest, every character is relatable in some way. When I saw Man of Steel, is the first time I ever sympathized with Superman. Because before
that's
that,
good then. I'm
yeah,
looking
I was
forward to that.
shocked.
It wasn't like he was insulting you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, it was good to the fact that you actually related to the character. I was shocked.
I'm just saying that up to this point right now,
Okay,
why
yeah.
Marvel's success is because they've decided to divulge into their characters and not so much their actual storytelling. Because that's why I think with the animated movies, DC is so successful. DC has been really good lately in telling stories and readapting their comics and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But if you look at Marvel, they've been kind of descending and sort of they're so focused on these movies, and that's another reason why they're successful. All their attention is on the movies, less of their comics and their story arcs and stuff like that. So that's why DC's storytelling translates better, but Marvel's characters have been depicted
Well,
better.
that's an interesting fact too, because the Ultimate Universe that was created by Marvel was centralized by the idea. They told the comic creators, when you write this and rework the universe, you make it as if you're writing a movie. So they were killing off key characters and stuff like that.
And the Avengers movie series, the Phase 1 and all the phases are coming, are based in the Ultimate Universe. It's not the regular canon.
Right, they pull more from the Ultimate Universe
Yeah.
than they do, and they still make their own changes and stuff like that, but they pull more from the Ultimate Universe because that one was more grounded in reality.
More modern.
Yeah, and that, I guess that's now why DC decided to do the new 52, reboot everything.
I don't think that worked.
I know, young Batman. Anyways, but
so much wrong with it.
she was crying about Harley. She hated the new Harley. But anyways, also moving on from that, I mean, now that DC has started with, redone with Man of Steel, and they're hoping that this will launch the Justice League movie. After seeing it, I don't see how they could do a Justice League movie either, because the dude's OP. All right, he's overpowered beyond belief.
Wait, so this is officially would tie into the Justice
They
League?
said officially it might be, and that officially it might be. They're still testing the waters. If this is really successful, they will tie it to the
Did they have
Justice
Nick Fury come in at the end?
League. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
What's the S stand for?
It's not an S. On my world, it means hope.
Well, here it's an S. How about super?
Excuse me.
But so now that they're doing the Justice League movie, I don't know how I feel about it because, like I said, Superman's a one-man army. He doesn't need anyone.
I'm still concerned about like if the Justice League movie can be successful, just because again talking about the characters, the team itself. Like when I watched they
work like
animated, they're so perfect.
Like
Batman, it will not take. Everything will be structured, and everybody is up to code because they know that they have to do something bigger than themselves.
They work so well as a team.
So where do you go from there? You have to immediately bring this superpower in the first movie, but then it's like you're bringing something too early. So there's a lot of
I don't know where.
Are you going to dumb down the powers of the Justice League, and then people will be like, well, now they don't really feel like the
if you bring in Darkseid in the first wad and blow your wad in the first movie, then it's.
But at the same time, you sort of feel like you have to just because of how strong the Justice League is. Like if they get a threat like the Avengers got, which works for them because they're complaining with each other, and then like, oh, we have to do a greater good. You do that with the Justice League, then you're just mimicking Avengers, or the villain is too weak.
See, I'd rather see a World's Finest movie before I see a Justice League movie. Have Batman and Superman
really
team
cool
up.
Team up.
But what about you, Cary? What Marvel franchises are you hoping that will become a new franchise, a film franchise?
Well, I know that they've talked about some of my favorite characters. I love Cloak and Dagger. They've talked about making that into a movie.
Why are you laughing?
I just remember reading about Cloak and Dagger.
Okay.
It's just funny.
Go on. I'm sorry.
I guess I'm old. Doctor Strange could be cool. I mean, there's a lot of characters they can.
Didn't they hint that Viggo Mortensen might make a cameo?
I haven't heard.
You ever heard that? There was a rumor that he might show up in Thor: Dark World as
Doctor Strange.
As Doctor Strange.
Marvel knows how to set up for the next 10 movies, and like right now, it's pretty cool.
And then they'll reboot it in 10 years. Okay, so well, you touched earlier on the animated films of DC.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite animated ones so far?
Well, the biggest one that I really enjoyed, I recently watched Superman Unbound. I did enjoy that. I liked that. I really enjoyed that one. I mean, I can go through the list. I enjoy almost all of them. I enjoyed the Dark Knight Returns Part 2 a lot.
Yeah.
I was like salivating at how they did
you
the
saw that
Superman
one too?
Batman
Oh yeah.
thing.
Then just the ass whooping.
One of the best stories I think ever written.
Yeah,
Right.
that was amazing. I enjoyed the Doom one, like especially when you told me about like basically Batman's concluding, I built this league just to screw, to take me down.
In case he goes bad.
Yeah. So.
Also, Young Justice's television show was quite successful.
That was
and
really
unfortunately, it's semi on hiatus.
Did you buy the toys?
No.
You didn't
See,
buy
that was
that's
my,
your
that was
fault.
my
You didn't
fault.
buy toys.
I didn't buy- He said they don't really care if people watch the show. They want people to buy the toys. And it wasn't selling the toys, so they canceled it. So I'm going to have to start buying toys. But back on track, and that's why Bruce, that's the other thing that concerns me. Because of that, this is the second time it happened to him, but the same thing happened to Justice League Unlimited. They weren't selling the toys, so they canceled that show. That's the reason why. And Bruce Timm actually got pissed and left. Now, if you don't know Bruce Timm, he's been head producer of the animated department for DC and Warner Bros. For a long time. Mm-hmm. He helped create and run the show for Batman the Animated Series, and then Justice League and Batman Beyond, and so on and so on. He did all of that, and now that he's left, I'm like shaking in my boots of what's going to happen to DC's animated film franchise.
Is Paul Dini still working for them though?
I believe so.
Because he was their main writer for those animated.
I'm trying to remember. Is he? No, he already left. Did he leave with Bruce Timm, or separately? So so Paul Dini has left too. So
So they're screwed then, basically.
yeah, I'm waiting for the DC film franchise to burn out now. To be honest,
They still keep on pumping out good quality movies, and problem with
Green Lantern was good.
no, the animated one.
Oh, okay.
No. But Marvel's been putting them out too, but they haven't been that captivating.
I don't. There's several reasons. I don't think the writing's spot on for the animated films, and the other thing is the animation. It's not that great compared to.
Yeah, it feels cheesy a little
It feels
bit.
dated.
Yeah.
The Avengers one was terrible.
The
you basically
Ultimate
built up,
Avengers?
Yeah, you built up for this Hulk fight, and the Hulk fight was subpar, and I was disappointed.
The Hulk fight was the best part. That was the issue. That was the entire issue. That was the best part.
Yeah,
there should have been better parts.
I did like the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes series, which they just they stopped that. Now they have a new Avengers series.
Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, which is more based on the movie version of the so.
But it's on a Disney XD, so I won't watch it. Going down the list again, what would your favorite DC movie character be made? Besides Harley Quinn, I know you want a Harley Quinn movie.
I just want her to show up in a movie. I think that would be nice. But actually, I have been thinking about. I won't get a Nightwing movie. I know that. I know that won't happen.
There was this close to being an animated series.
I would be happy with that, actually. But no, if I could have a movie based on one of the characters, I think The Question would be a good one.
That'd be actually be cool.
Because this also...
It's very X-File-ish.
Yeah, but
conspiracy
I mean...
nut.
Have him follow these different weird conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah. He finds the 30-second flavor at Baskin-Robbins.
Yes! Why are the plastic tips at the end of shoelaces suspicious?
They are suspicious, aren't they?
Yeah, why? Well...
Or sinister, that's what he said. The aglet.
As it likes to be called, the aglet.
Yeah. Yes.
I know that term.
What about you, Fernando? What franchise would you like to see made out of either DC or Marvel characters that hasn't been done?
To be honest, with Marvel, I guess I don't have to really worry because they're just gonna keep throwing them. So eventually, if I don't think of one, they'll throw it anyway, and I'll be like, oh, they're making that one now. So I'm fine with that. But I think with DC, honestly, I don't know much about the DC except the main characters with Justice League. And honestly, I would have no problem if somebody would take the script of Green Lantern and do it right. Because honestly, I had a lot of hope to see because I thought out of all the movies. Out of all the heroes aside from Superman and Batman, which they've done, since the 70s, that Green Lantern was the next thing in that he's possible, he's doable, and then they messed that up. So I would really I have no problem if somebody did it correctly, do it again. I would love to see that.
I would like to see a reboot too. No offense to Ryan Reynolds, I think he did all right as an actor. He wasn't great as Green Lantern, but I blame the
he didn't have enough to work with. What was he supposed to do?
Yeah, I blame the directing most of all. His powers run off of willpower and the sense of having no fear. But then they kept coming back to that his fear about crashing the plane of his, his father dying in the plane crash. I was like, well, then why is he flying the plane to begin with if he's still having that fear? So that always bothered me.
Well, because then eventually in the movie, I no longer have fear.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still waiting for the good Deadpool movie they keep on promising us.
Yeah, he's double dipping.
It doesn't matter. You gotta admit,
he's double
Ryan
dipping
Reynolds
with two different franchises now.
They screwed him up in the Wolverine movie, majorly.
Yeah.
So they have to make up for it. They have to.
Well, let's hope they do.
They still haven't come up with a decent Wonder Woman feature.
They've tried.
They tried with a television series.
Yeah, no, I wasn't gonna watch that. That made me mad from the promo pictures.
Yeah, have you seen? I'm going to insert the video here, but there's an online intro for the television show. It's so happy and campy. It's horrible. I'll show you later. But it totally killed the series. It was produced by David E. Kelly too.
Yeah,
was
the
it?
same guy that did Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal, and so it's like business power woman. Her arch nemesis was Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah, there was so much.
Everybody's arch nemesis.
Oh my god.
But also, DC has television shows like Smallville and Green Arrow. I refuse to watch Green Arrow based for the fact is it's produced by the same people that Smallville. And Smallville, I hate it.
But the cool thing about Arrow is that it's actually nothing like Smallville.
I hope that's the case. Maybe I'll give it a chance.
I've watched the pilot, and I'm gonna try to go through it now that I finished some other stuff. But to me, it felt very, CW. It felt very.
Well, it's going to.
It's CW, yeah.
But from what I've heard, it's actually poked a bit of fun at Smallville. So.
I heard that he keeps mentioning he's been stuck on an island for 5 years. Like, it's a constant running gag. I think it's a drinking game now. Every time he says in the show, I've been stuck on the island for 5 years. But
Speaking of TV shows, I mean, we have S.H.I.E.L.D. coming up, so
S.H.I.E.L.D., yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Welcome to level 7.
Well, to be honest, when I first saw the first trailer, I was a little nervous because I was like, this reminds me so much of Heroes. And I was not a big fan of Heroes.
It's got that guy who played Gunn in Angel.
Charles Gunn?
Yeah.
I forgot his name.
I can't remember the actor's name, but I think it's like, well, he's a Whedon person. Of course, he's going to be in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, hopefully, like, cameos from the other superheroes show up in that show, too.
Oh, yeah.
They might do Ant-Man or something. Because Edgar Wright's supposedly doing Ant-Man.
Yeah, they're working. I saw the little bit of test footage they did, and it looked awesome.
Phase 3.
Yeah.
He's Phase 3. Is this supposed to be a CGI movie or a fully animated CGI movie or?
No, it's a live action movie. Yeah.
Okay, because I heard rumors of both. Okay, so I guess I'll wrap it up for today. We all got our points across about what movie franchises we love from either Marvel or DC. Please let us know on our comments which one you prefer and why you think it's the best. Again, always check us out at Ultness.com and follow us on Twitter at Ultness. This is us signing off. Thank you. So, what else? Should they reboot Blade?
Well, he has to pay his IRS bills off, right?
The what?
The Losers.
The Losers?
Yeah.
What was that? Marvel?
No, the
Yes,
DC.
See, he's already true.
That means
this big multi-movie series.
that means Chris Evans.
That
Chris
means
Evans did like 4 comic book movies.
You're proud of yourself.
Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I just came up with a good
Cats,
idea.
Losers and Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
You can't
He's
speak for the
cornering the
fourth
market.
wall.
4 different characters.
He's cornering the market. He's not gonna leave any roles for anyone else.
It needs to be a creeper movie.
A creeper movie.
Yeah.
There needs to be a Lobo movie.
You need to bring
Ooh.
back
They
Red
were
Brown
working
as
on
Captain
one of
America.
those.
Bring back Red Brown as Captain America.
Oh man.
I will pay the watch debt. Is he?
Asshole! America!